everybody. Welcome once again to It's a Frankly Harry podcast. I'm your host, Frank Weber. So glad you could join me in the forest this week for our New Year's edition show. I'm always excited about New Year's and the optimism and the possibilities that it brings or could bring, and I want to share some of that with you later on in the show. First, I wanted to go over an experience I've had in the past, and one that doesn't get talked about a lot. I never hear anybody else talking about this, but my wife and I just got back from Las Vegas, which we've been to many, many times in the, I guess, what is it now, 18 years that we've known each other. We spent part of Christmas Day there, and then this past weekend where we also celebrated our anniversary. It's 15 years for us now, believe it or not. But we went to Las Vegas, and there's a lot of different things I could tell you about the trip and about Las Vegas. There's definitely an affordability issue there nowadays that I tend to link to corporate greed. Not to good old-fashioned capitalism, but to corporate greed in particular. And I'm not going to go over that in this show here. We may talk about it in the future and in 2026 or beyond, or at some other point. But and there are still deals to be had in Las Vegas if you know where you're looking and everything. But overall, we had a really great time there and did a number of fun things and got away from home and enjoyed the distraction of the area nonetheless. And it was a very good weekend and a very productive little trip or vacation. But as I was saying, we've been going for about 18 years now, I guess, when we first met. It was 18 years or... I think it's almost 19 now. But I don't know. I'm just losing track of these years, and they go by so fast, and then they accumulate, and then next thing you know, you're both older than dirt. And but anyway, I want to talk about an experience that I've had several times, and I had again this time around. So I'm not a big gambler. I do gamble a little bit, mostly on video slots, video poker, and things like that. I don't really do a lot of tables and stuff. She does video slots. And if I'm not winning money, even though I may be accumulating points, but if I'm not winning money, I kind of get discouraged and give up and need to find something else to do. So a lot of times what I'll do is go over to the sportsbook, where they've usually got some kind of sport or game, or usually involving like pretty girls or sideline reporters, covering the game or something. Anyway, a lot of different screens and a lot of different things to see. And a lot of places, the fact of the matter is, a lot of places, a lot of the people who are in there watching the game have not placed bets. They're just there to watch their favorite team or watch something that they're interested in. There is technically signage on there that says that these seats are reserved for people who have placed bets on these events, but I suspect most people have not. Anyway, so you go down there and you sit in these kind of plush seats, and it's kind of dark, and you may have had a little bit of alcohol. The seats are very relaxing. Some of the games may be kind of boring, as I've talked about before, with particularly various professional sports and, even college sports now. They might be less than entertaining. So it's very tempting to sit there and go to sleep, and especially as I age and get tired, and I may have shared on here in the last few weeks that I'm getting kind of tired fairly easily, but apparently it is an unposted rule that you're not supposed to fall asleep in these sports books, or the security guard will come over and wake you up, and possibly if you do it more than once, he may ask you to leave as well. And I don't know, I had this happen some years ago at another casino there in Las Vegas, and I had it happen just once in this trip this time. And after this particular event, I'm like, why are they so picky about this, about falling asleep in the sports book? They have the environment and all the ingredients for people to potentially fall asleep. And so I asked my friendly, I don't remember if it was Chat GPT or one of the AIs, like, why this is such a big damn deal in these places. And they say that if you're tired, and assuming you're staying at the hotel, you should just go to your room, right? But they say it's also supposedly a deterrent for other people coming in and placing a bet or watching sports and what have you. And some of that is actually very reasonable to me, but it doesn't seem to be. It's not a strong enough reason to come over and tell me not to go to sleep. And I'm not sure. It makes sense, but it doesn't make strong enough sense, is what I'm saying. Because you've created this environment, and I'm old. Maybe I've had a little bit to drink, and it's easy to fall asleep in those rooms nowadays. So that's just an experience that I want to share with you, because I've had guys come over and tell me not to go to sleep, and this has been going on off and on for a number of years, and I don't feel strongly one way or the other on this situation. They make some good argument, but I just don't think it's strong enough to merit asking people to go to their room or leave or whatever. So I'd be interested in hearing if somebody else out there who's listening has had the same experience as me and is a little bit annoyed by this fairly unwritten casino sports book rule. Unwritten and unposted, unlike the sign that says these chairs are reserved for bettors or players who are at a certain tier of their casino rewards. But I just wanted to share that with you. Just one of my unique personal experiences, as I mentioned before, not talked about a lot in society, which is what this show is all about. And also you could chalk it up as well to the many strange interactions that I seem to have had in my 48 years since childhood, and wondering what's wrong with everybody and why certain things are permissible and certain things are not permissible, and some things like this are, in my view, kind of semi-permissible. So I wanted to share that with you real quick, and would enjoy hearing your stories if you'd like to share with me in the comments, or if you want to DM me as well. But anyway, overall, had a good time, and there's other things I could share with you from the trip, but I won't do that on this particular episode. This is, of course, the New Year's episode 2026. And I did something like this last year as well. Kind of give you an overview of what I'm praying for and hoping for in the new year. I'm the kind of guy who I don't know, like, if I feel like in recent years, maybe it's always been like this. A lot of people make New Year's resolutions, and they're very hard to keep. And some people and because they're hard to keep, a lot of people, I feel, in recent years have decided that they're somehow not worth it, and they should just trash the resolutions. I disagree with this for a couple of reasons, and one of them I will tell you, there are political bodies out there like our U.S. Congress or legislatures, city councils, student councils, you name it, who will decide that they want to chime in on some issue, and they will call it a resolution. However, it's not legally binding, so it doesn't mean jack shit or diddly squat. And it's basically a dog and pony show that nobody really has to pay attention to. They just want to tell you what their opinion is, and they're not actually making law or anything worthwhile. But as far as your personal lives go and my personal lives go, I absolutely, totally favor resolutions. I favor people wanting to make improvements in their lives, to make their dreams come true. Whether that's something common like losing weight or trying to quit cussing or stop cussing, which is something I probably should do as well, but I don't know. I do it occasionally just because it's kind of funny, and I think some people find it entertaining. But there's nothing wrong with setting goals and directives and standards for your life. And if that involves making New Year's resolutions, then by all means, make those resolutions. And I would say go a step further. Don't just make the resolution, but try to make a plan for how you are going to attain that goal in the coming year. And set forth, perhaps a certain motivation for how you're going, not just a plan for how you're going to do it, but a motivation for making sure that you get there. Maybe you do it in a number of steps, or maybe it's just one step. But this show is all about improving human life and improving the human experience, which I think we all have the ability to do. We all have a great ability as humans to do good and bad things, but I think I feel like we are either too distracted or too conditioned to try to not do as much good in the world as I know that we're capable of. With a new year starting here in 2026, I feel like it's time to change that, both individually, whatever you're hoping to do in your life, as well as culturally and societally, and to have an optimism to it, whether that and hopefully a plan, and obviously prayer works wonders as well, because I think we are all capable of so much better individually and collectively, and that's my optimistic appraisal of the situation. I know on the other side of the coin, it's easy to think of the world as having been moving in a not so great direction for a very uncertain number of years in recent times. But anyway, my prayer is that everybody is willing to set some goals and some ideas, resolutions, if you will, to move their lives forward and to move in a better direction, in a more fulfilling direction, so that you all can have more of a life lived to the fullest, which is what Jesus said that he came to give us life and to live it to the full, and that's all I can really hope and pray for in this new year. And I know I made that really wordy and maybe over-explained it there in a very cumbersome way, but I have a great amount of optimism, and I know we can do it. We gotta obviously pray together and make a plan, take some action, try to not be distracted, try to get on a new trajectory here in the coming year. And I'm staying optimistic, and I'm I know we can do it. So anyway, with that, I don't want to keep you any longer than I need to this week. I know Christmas and New Year's in the middle of the week this year. Last year, just had some special messages for you, and that's my message for this new year. And obviously, be careful out there if you're going to be traveling on New Year's Eve. A lot of people call that amateur night, and a lot of people out there inebriated, and if they're not in the casino falling asleep at the sportsbook, they may be behind a car and or behind the wheel of a car and may cause some trouble. So obviously, if you get through this holiday, we've already gotten through Christmas, but if we get through this holiday, then we'll be ready to start the new year strong. And so please, everybody, be safe and kind, and slow down and take it easy on those roads. Don't give me more material for traffic jokes here. But I'm going to go ahead and let you out early again. Another holiday gift for you. And that's about all I have for this show here. I also wanted to share with you real quick that a couple of months ago I was going on and on about the Fall Guy being taken off the air by H&I. Apparently, the H&I network has brought it back at 2 a.m. Monday through Friday. It's actually 2 a.m. Tuesday through Saturday, but they consider that Monday through Friday anyway. So I applaud you, H&I channel. It's great to have it back in some form, even though I've recorded all your showings up to this point. But anyway, and by the way, if you're thinking I'm kind of incoherent on this particular show, it's because it's 10:30 at night and I need to get this show in. But anyway, that's all I have to comment on this episode and for the year 2025. Happy New Year to you all. Please, as always, share this show with friends and loved ones, anybody you come in contact with. Hit the subscribe button. Would love to hear your comments and direct messages as well as I continue working on this show and growing it and evolving it in the new year. And thank you for your patronage and listening and these growing numbers. I'm so thankful for that, and can't wait to see where it goes in 2026. So once again, Happy New Year. Look forward to seeing you then. And until next time, this is your host, Frank Weber, signing off from the forest. We'll see you again there next year. Bye. Love you.